All right, so this video is going over how to sign high-paying clients for your agency, coaching, business, info product, whatever it is. High-paying being defined as $5,000 to $25,000 per month, or just big setup costs, and then also international clients. If you don't know me, my name is Ethan Welby. I've scaled over 100 agencies. We literally would build out the acquisition systems to help them build offers, book meetings, sign clients, and now I just make YouTube videos. So in terms of what we're going to cover, we're going to talk about insights after doing this for 100 clients, finding prospects, message creation, and then adjust the sales process. So everything from how to find the high paying or qualified leads, what to say to these people, and then how to actually, once on a call, convert them into a client side. So the first thing I'm going to go over is a quick 2 insights. So what I mean by this is that why do you want to work with bigger clients? The thing is, you could do the exact same work for a big client, right? A big client versus a small client. You can do the exact same work, but get paid 100 times more. And I genuinely mean it 100 times. So for example, if you work with, let's say you're helping e-com brands, you're helping them with the ads. With this small company, they may be brand new, they have a terrible website, they have no reputation, they have no reviews, nothing. And because of that, it's just very difficult to get them results because there's nothing to leverage. But if you work with a big company and they have all this reputation, they have all this reviews, they have all this proof and content and all these things, it's just going to be easier because you can run the same ads, but now you have more reputation behind you. So you do the same work, you run the same ads, you're working the same amount of time, but you can charge genuinely 10 times more. So the secondary thing, or the second insight, is that you want to look at working with bigger clients as almost like a ladder. So you don't just start, I mean you can, but it's going to be more difficult. So you don't just start working with like billion-dollar companies, right? What you want to do is, let's say you have a client making 6 figures per year. You start there, you get used to it, you figure out, you get good results, you get a case study. Then you graduate to 7-figure clients, right? Then you do it, you figure it out, you figure out the mechanics, figure out the back end, all of that. Then you graduate to 8 figures. And this is what all of my clients have done, right? My clients are marketing agencies, so they want to work with big companies. Some of them made 6 figures, some of them made 7 figures, some of them made 8 figures, right? So tens of millions per year. So this is why we want to work with bigger companies, because it's going to make your entire life easier. You're going to get a better case study and your life will be better, right? Then you can buy that Rolex. So now we need to talk about finding prospects. So what I mean by this is we're essentially going for prospects, right? But we're looking for the big ones, the ones with money, the ones who can afford what you're offering, the ones that need what you're offering. So what we're going to do is we use things called secondary metrics to actually find these people. Now I'm using a tool called Apollo over here. Don't obsess over it. It's just a software. Don't worry about it at all. Let me just actually go to the thing. Yeah, so I'm in the search. Now, again, it's just a software. Don't go looking around, oh, Apollo, it's a bit, no, it's just Apollo. So what we're looking for are things called secondary metrics, right? And this applies to any sort of lead sourcing tool. So I purposefully brought up LinkedIn as well, because we do the exact same thing there. Literally whatever you use, they all do the same thing, right? Even like Apollo uses LinkedIn data. So it's like that. Anyways, so because we want bigger companies, what we're looking to do is, while there is a metric called revenue on all of these platforms, it's not the most accurate and no one really knows how much revenue a company is making. So what we want to do is use things called secondary metrics. Now, what are secondary metrics? We can use things that are correlated with making more money. It just so happens to be the fact that a company that has a lot more employees will have a lot more revenue if it's run well. If it's not, then it's just a bad company. But for example, it's like if I wanted beginner agencies, like as my client, I would go after 1 to 10. If I wanted bigger ones, I'd go after 11 to 20. If I wanted even bigger ones, I'd go after 21 to 50. So by using a tool like this, which is just a massive database of companies, I can filter down on exactly what I want. Okay? So a company that has the budget is most likely going to have more employees. They're also most likely going to be in a first world country. So then you could say something like United States. You could say something like United Kingdom. And this is just increasing the likelihood that they have money. Now, again, these lead lists, they may not be 1,000% accurate, 1,000%, but by adding these filters, it's just going to increase the probability that you actually get what you want, which are the higher paying, higher budget clients. So in the same way, these are just, great to start with. If there's anything else that indicates they have money, for example, if they have funding, right, that's another thing. So what you can do is you can actually go through like the websites to talk about the new companies that get funding. So because of that, it's like, okay, that's a perfect indication that they have money. So then we can pretty much just cross off the fact that these people have money. Let's just get these people and then sign them as clients. Now, these are obviously the systems that we give in our program. Again, like, you don't have to join it, but I just thought I should tell you it's there. But if you just want to shortcut your path to signing these clients, by all means. But anyway, so now that we use these secondary metrics, the same would apply on LinkedIn, right? If we go over here to the search, we just say agency, and then we go to these filters on the left. Like we are seeing, we want, North America, so they have money. Then we want things like the company headcount. Then we want things like literally that, company location, all of these things. Years in current company, so how long they've actually been there for. Okay, so using these secondary metrics, this is going to allow us to find the people. And then it's like, okay, now we have these lists. You can either just like export this, download it, or just reach out through here, through LinkedIn. But now it's like, okay, we figured that out. Now it's like, what do we actually say to these people? And the thing is, you need a better offer to actually get better results. Probably should have mentioned this earlier, but when we used to run these sorts of campaigns, we had a client, Flax Labs. They genuinely wanted billion-dollar companies. Like billion with a B. So obviously, like, everyone's reaching out to them. It's like, what did we say that actually got them on the call? So the first thing that allowed them to actually get in contact with billion-dollar companies, and what you can do the same, is you want to firstly make sure that your offer is aligned with what they actually want. Because the thing is, if you pitched a billion-dollar company, hey, we'll help you increase your revenue by 10K a month, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, who cares? Like, we don't want that. But if they could get another billion, then it's like, okay, that's valuable. So firstly, just make sure, first, like, checkbox, is what you're saying actually aligned with what they actually want, right? You need to pitch the right thing to the right person. Even if, thing is, if you went to like, let's say someone who just started their business and you were like, hey, we'll help you add an extra 1 million per month. They'll be like, what? Like, I'm just trying to sell this SEO, man. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get to $1 million a month. So it needs to be aligned, both on the big side and the small side. So align the offer with what they want. When we were going after billion-dollar companies, we had to make a very, very good offer. Then you want to align your case studies. Okay? So yeah. Okay, that wasn't that bad. I thought I was going to absolutely fumble that word. But case studies. So the thing is, like, anyone can make an offer. Anyone can be like, we'll add an extra 100K. But very few people can actually mention a time where they actually did that, like an instance. So I can be like, hey, we'll help your agency add an extra 100K. They'd be like, cool, let me see. And I'll be like, okay, cool. Here's an example. So in your case, this is why I was talking about the idea of building up to it. Because if you go to an 8-figure company with a 6-figure deal, with a 6-figure case study, they're going to laugh at you. So what you need to do is make sure your case studies are up there. And if it's not, if you don't think it'll be worth it to them, then just keep building up until you get there. It doesn't take that long. Okay? So that's that. And then another thing is that you need to make your messaging as specific as possible to their exact problems. So if you think about it, different companies at different sizes have different problems. I don't know if I said that right. But like anything before 6 figures, it's like they're just trying to get the ball rolling. It's like they just want to sign some clients predictably. Get into 7 figures, and this is what I've seen from my 7 and 8-figure clients. It's like, this is when it becomes a game of like hiring, delegation, removal, and having a system that runs without you. And then when you get to 8 figures, who knows? But, I'm kidding. But the point is that at the beginning, you just want to sign as many clients as possible. So that's what you would talk to. It's like, in your messaging, you would say things like, hey, like, we'll help you add an extra 50,000 per month while signing high-paying clients, while having a predictable system to actually get new clients in the door using our appointment setting thing. Like, that's what you'd use for them. Okay? So you talk about like clients, bookings, all that stuff. 7 figure. It's like, now they have clients, but they want different things. It's like, now we want bigger clients. So it's like, this is how we can get you in contact with bigger deals, right, predictably, while removing the founder from the day-to-day. So while getting you and your business systemized. So you talk about those things in your offer, okay? So now it's more specific. Now you stand out from everyone else. Your case studies aligned, your offers aligned, and everything is good, okay? And that is how you get them on, right? Then just look, a good offer is always going to get the booking, right? Like, if you can say, we'll help you add an extra 100,000, no money down, pay on results, like, you will get that. Like, for our client Flax, like, they were willing to test such amazing offers, like, such, like, hectic. I'll give you an example. Like, they were willing to be like, look, because our performance deals are going to be so big with these companies, it's like, we'll just run like performance based. So it's like no money down, and they're talking to like an 8-9 figure company, like no money down. We can promise like extra, whatever, couple millions per year using our system. And you only pay us once it works. And the companies are like, yeah, that's the best thing ever. Let's do it. Right. So by doing it like that, and by having a better offer, and I have other videos on how to make offers, so just check that out. But by doing that, you're just going to maximize the chances. So all of these, when I'm speaking about all these things here, I'm not talking about like definitive, like by doing this one thing, you're going to get unlimited, like, no. But by doing every single one of these things and enough volume, so all of these times volume, you're just going to increase the probability that you get the bookings. And then once you start getting bookings, which you will, we need to talk about the sales process. So I put here frame and balls. I just realized how weird that sounds. But when I say frame, firstly, a lot of people, when they get on a sales call with a prospect, and especially like a big prospect, like a CEO prospect, like that's how they look at it. They're like, wow, this guy's so much better than me. And especially when you're young. Like when I was starting the agency and I was just like terrible, like young and inexperienced, it's like, it's the most intimidating thing ever, talking to like a big business owner. But basically what happens is that because you're talking to this big business owner, guy making 6-7 figures, which isn't even a lot, you start like being too nice. So they're like, you just let them take control of the call. You don't ask the right questions. They say like, yeah, I don't want to pay this much. And you're like, oh, I'll just reduce my prices. Like, no, you can't do that. So what you need to do is you need to conduct this call the same way you're conducting any other call, right? And we obviously provide the sales process that we use to close the 8-figure clients, like 7-figure clients, all that in the program. But again, like, don't want to make a pitch here, but genuinely, like, we'll just give you that. But if you don't have that, just use your current sales process and maintain your frame. But then the next thing and the last thing that I put over here is just balls. And it's like, you just need to charge more. Like, to be honest, like so many clients that I work with, they're all agencies, they're all trying to sign big clients, and they do. But one of the biggest things that stops them from signing the clients is just being too scared. So usually, and in many cases, the clients or the prospects that you're speaking to now actually have the money to pay more. Like the difference between $3,000 and like $5,000 really isn't much to a business making like hundreds of thousands per year or millions per year. It's actually like near nothing. So even the difference between like 3,000 and 7,000. Now for like marketing services, that might be a bit steep, but if you're talking to the right people, then you're fine. So the biggest thing that I would say is that honestly, just if you're closing deals already, just try raise your price. Like literally just pitch a higher price, and I promise you, you will. These are the things that you need to do to sign higher paying clients. So start with finding bigger people, right? Using what I spoke about, create the right messaging, adjust your sales process, and I promise you, I guarantee you will sign clients. Like I've seen this work every single time for the 100 agencies we work with. So if you want more info on what we do and how we can help you scale faster, there should be a link in the description. I'll be honest, like I'll show you how this stuff works at the end. Like I'll give you the price. If you want to buy, you can, and sign up, and you'll just, go there 10x quicker, whether you want to get to 10K, 50K, 100K, or 200K like some of our clients. Or you can just use the stuff and get there without me. So that's all for this one. I will talk to you in the next video.